It's just about that time of the week. Time for the Weekly Weebs Podcast. Grab your friends, family, waifus, and husbandos, and join your favorite weebs for an exciting show of anime talk. Hosts Crimson, Frenchie, Wigwiki, and Zario Machini will review and suggest shows, talk about news from the industry, and tackle some of the biggest arguments in the world of anime. It's the Weekly Weebs Podcast, starting now.
We're back, baby, here on the Weekly Weebs Podcast. We're going to review Dances with the Dragons, a.k.a. that one episode that had a couple dragons and then never has more dragons.
Yeah.
For a show that has dragons in the title, we saw two.
A very lackluster of them.
And then a human version of a dragon.
I have a theory about that, though.
What's that?
Before you speak your theory.
I have a theory about that, though. It's Dancing with the Dragons, but there's not a lot of dragons in the... It's basically some dragons in the first, 3-4 episodes, and then the rest is those Magatsushi. Maybe Dancing with the Dragons is referring to the dance that the main character, one of the main characters with the red hair and glasses, is doing with the king. Back in all the political intrigue stuff. And it's hinting at the fact that maybe he is a 1,000-year-old dragon.
The gray-haired dude
Stop looking away from the mic as you're talking. You're literally... We're getting audio. We're getting nothing. We're getting audio.
Okay, my theory is that the title is alluding to the story itself in terms of the main redhead character doing the dance of the story of what the main king with the glasses is doing with it that gave him the ring. And that how that ring was the ring of a red scale.
Oh, like that Pope-looking motherfucker?
Yeah, that he is a dragon, or he's dancing with him in terms of that, or they're dancing around the ring because that is obviously a very important item.
Right.
And they're doing a dance. It's. I feel like the title involves them too.
It's a political dance, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
I thought he was going to take a dragon to prom.
I was kind of hoping that.
Prom night dumpster baby.
I'm just saying for a title that's Dancing with the Dragons, we didn't get a lot of dragons, and I ain't seen no balls or dancing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see some balls. The most elegant balls in the entire kingdom. The biggest balls of them all.
I have just kind of a personal problem with any promise of dragons, and the dragons just become humans. It's like, I think there's a point in Supernatural where they have dragons, and you never actually see them as dragons. They just turn into humans.
Oh.
And
It's for a budget.
And it is for the budget, but this is an anime where it doesn't have that excuse.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of, shows that lean super heavy into, politics, because then it gets really confusing to me.
Oh, I fucking love
Dude,
it.
I
just
also
didn't
love
like
it.
this one.
Yeah, I like political intrigue a lot.
Well, this one threw me off because,
like
they
Game of
threw you
Thrones.
right into it with all these, the names of the countries and the powers was just, to me, dumb. And I think because of that, when they threw you in, when they were having the meeting at the beginning and they were all talking about, their different, countries and stuff, I'm like, cool. What? What are we, what? I didn't understand. I was trying so hard, and I'm like, you've lost me. I don't understand what you're
There's
talking
three
about.
or four major organizations, if I remember
Like
correctly.
three, yeah.
Three. You have the main kingdom where they're living in.
Yep.
The second one is the dragon.
Yep.
Dragon
And then
Kingdom.
you have the place that has the alliance that he was talking to with the meeting.
Yeah, I knew.
And then you have the church. There's four.
Yeah,
There's
I
four
understood
yeah.
those. I understood those four. But
That's
all
what
I'm talking about
about.
is in the meeting, all these other, the other randoms that were just brought in. And I'm just like, are we supposed to know these? Because the names are so out of left field
That's
too.
just to show you that there's more to the world
Yeah.
than what.
There's a big
You
political
literally
war
just need
going
to worry
on.
about those four things: the church, the dragons, the alliance people, and the kingdom that they're
Yeah.
in. It's only four things you need to fucking worry about.
Yeah, I
The
just I
church, not
realized
so
that.
much. The church really didn't. The background didn't really play a super heavy part. Besides that, it's mainly the.
The dragons, the alliance, and
If it's honestly, you just need to know those 3-4 things that exist, and you just need to pay attention to the main guy.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
I learned that very quickly.
Yeah, so it's honestly not super. You don't gotta worry about all that. You don't.
Yeah.
And they just, when they reference it, who they're talking about specifically, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. I still hated how the power system was named.
Yeah,
I thought
that was fucking dumb as shit.
stupid.
When you say that name 40 fucking times in the first episode, and then just refer to it as a Jishki, fucking offensive bitch.
She is,
Like we
yeah.
don't fucking care.
Security
You don't-
Jishki,
you don't need
get
to say
out
it.
of
You
here.
don't need to say it. Don't
They
need to say it.
They really want to normalize that word. Like, no, guys, this is a normal part of everybody's vocabulary.
Jishki to this show was bespectacled beauty to Beyond the Boundary.
Dude, it's
worse.
It's worse.
It's worse,
Yeah.
but-
Beyond the Boundary, I forget that show exists when we're talking about it.
And then you remember
Like,
bespectacled
And-
beauty.
and, like this show. it's
They
just-
really make sure you remember the word Jishki at least.
Yeah.
It's like, we get it, you Jishki.
Do you even Jushki, bro?
I fucking hated it. The show itself was, to me, like, it was mid. It wasn't the
it's fine.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I picked this show was because the artwork looked cool, which I stand by, and the synopsis sounded cool. Which the way that this show was designed and animated was legitimately amazing. Like the show looked really good. And I really like the plot idea behind it, where what they're doing isn't like really technically magic. It's like quantum manipulation.
Of science.
Yeah, it kind of gives it, because that's basically what Full Metal Alchemist is. It's magic, but they call it science.
It's alchemy. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. I do wish that it had more dragonoid dragons.
Yeah.
How did that one dragon say she became human-like?
I don't think I cared enough to pay attention.
I don't
honestly.
remember.
I don't think she mentioned. I think that's just something that dragons can do, is just be like humanoid.
I think so. I think because I think they established that a couple times.
That's good. Well,
through the
she
show.
was a full-fledged alter, so maybe it had
Yeah.
to do with the power level.
maybe.
They had to,
Yeah, because like I think they mentioned that for dragons, their kind of power scaling is based off their years.
Yeah.
It's like the black dragon was they were guessing like 700 to 800 years, but the woman, she was the gravity lady, she was like 1,000 years.
1,000 or 900, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Did anybody else get really annoyed with
Everything, yes.
the red-headed character and just the random amount of horny he was?
So here's my thing.
no.
Well,
the chick literally left. It was like, bye, have a good time, don't cheat on me. And then it's like, hold on.
That's the thing that I don't like. For one thing, it's actually refreshing to me that we have main characters that are in established relationships.
yes.
You don't got to worry about like a will they, won't they love interest that's blooming, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. He's in a relationship.
And
Okay,
she's
great.
like, she's dope. I
Yeah.
loved his girlfriend. I
Yeah.
thought she was like awesome.
Yeah, she's actually
A gem.
one of the best written characters in this show.
Probably one of the only ones too.
And he is, and he is just, you know, every time he goes on his kind of flirting and womanizing things while talking shit about the gray-haired guy for being a womanizer,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, fuck you. Look what you have.
Alternatively, though, like that guy is,
He doesn't act on it though. You know what I'm saying? He's joking.
Sure.
but the gray hair guy also is engaged,
Yeah.
which makes it a little worse.
Yeah, he's the bad one. You can make jokes all you want if you're joking around. You know
I
what
will-
I'm saying?
yeah.
And you don't fucking actually touch or do anything. Joking's funny.
I will say,
I guess that
he-
depends on
he-
your relationship.
He
Yeah.
loves her, and in their relationship, it's fine.
I will
He's not
give.
actively cheating on her. She can joke about that and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They find in their relationship, it's banter,
I will give
Fair
him.
enough.
and they're laughing and enjoying, and they have a connection to each other, and they both love each other.
I will give the red hair guy props because like when the one chick was trying to move in on him, he was like, "No, I've got a girlfriend," and she got all pissed at him or something about
see,
it.
like he
Yeah,
actively,
I'll give him
I'll give him
props for
that.
that. But like he's still
he's
still
not
flirts
actually
around.
Yeah, he's not an actual womanizer though.
No, I just again.
That's part of the relationship. They're
Yeah.
okay with that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I guess.
I guess.
It's different in every relationship of whether or not flirting is cheating, and in theirs, it's a little bit more of, yeah, it's okay as long as you don't act on it.
Right.
Just got my own personal bias on that, I guess.
Yeah, I will say the gray-haired guy's obsession for furniture got me really good though.
Yeah,
That
they're-
shit was
they're
When
funny.
he was in the
sons.
fucking when he got locked in the cabinet.
Yeah, and
That
he
was
breaks,
great.
He breaks his arms out. He's like, "You let me out of here. You're gonna pay for what I had to do to my son."
The fact that he always calls them his kids is hilarious.
Don't talk to me or my son or my son or my daughter or my daughter or my son. It's like all the furniture.
I think it's a thing with swords guys that they just love furniture.
Is that a
Some-
thing?
Yeah, well, because the two-handed sword guy.
Well, I
was
don't
a
know if
part of
it's a thing of just swordsmen or just his clan, because he's mentioned that he's part of like a tribe or something.
Okay, yes, but
Yeah,
the
that
other
he's
guy in
like
the
a
show
dragon,
that was
too.
super into furniture wasn't a part of his clan.
Who was the other guy that was
The
obsessed with
two-handed
furniture?
sword, the two guy with the two swords, that was a part of the.
Oh,
other-
the elven guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
that's
also
fair.
really liked furniture, and those were like the two main sword guys that we saw, and they just both so happened to love furniture. So in my mind, that means all sword people in the show have a huge obsession with furniture.
Canon.
He is using context clues.
Yeah,
and they
I'll give-
also both really like upgrading their equipment.
Well, yeah,
So they're
upgrading
also
your
obsessed
equipment
with
though.
spending
I-
a shit ton of money.
I mean, they're in like a Final Fantasy world, so
They really are.
they should want to upgrade their
Yeah,
equipment.
but like so,
Yeah.
like their relationship is like a mirror image of the other two, the squad members of the other two people they fought with all the time.
Yeah,
The elf dude and that one bipolar ass chick.
yeah.
She was a redheaded dude, and that one swords guy was our swords guy.
She was a redhead dude. He was a sword guy.
But you know, he fucking liked to buy expensive stuff, upgrade his shit, and he loved furniture.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
loved going into debt.
Yeah. And she tried stopping him, just like our redhead dude.
Yep.
Like, so it's literally the same.
Here's the way I looked at the show was the beginning was not good, not the
Not
best.
necessary.
The middle was really solid. The ending was mid. The
Yeah.
ending could have been better.
The Sand Dragon stuff isn't even resolved on screen.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that's crazy to me.
Well,
Like
and
the-
we barely even got most of the Sand Dragon stuff to begin with. Like that stuff
Yeah.
didn't show up until almost like the last like 4 or 5 episodes of the show.
If they would have done that,
I'm
since
fine
the
with that,
beginning-
but they don't even really utilize it in those episodes.
Exactly. What were you saying, Wookie?
So if they would have just had that whole plot line be the whole fuck. If they would have just had that whole plot line be the fucking show. That
Yeah.
went tight.
That would
So having that first episode be that dragon and all that, like first 3 episodes be that dragon and stuff, like that was honestly completely unnecessary in my mind. It was still really like upsetting plot, like she was trying to avenge her lost love, you know, kind of thing, and
I mean,
how
I was fine with
diabolical
all
she
that.
was. It was good,
Yeah.
but in terms of like, was it necessary and could we have gotten more from the show if they just had done this whole thing?
Right.
Yes, I feel like we could have gotten a lot more from the show.
Mhm.
Especially with the ideological stuff. I don't know if that's the right word, but in terms of the character of the Sand Dragon who took the what you call it, the form, he took the name from the actual Sand Dragon, the myth, and
Oh,
adopted
Oh,
that as
yeah,
himself.
yeah,
yeah, the older dude at the end.
Well, it's not the older dude. It's the same guy. Like he was the nephew to that one chick. That's who
Uh-huh.
the Sand Dragon was.
Uh-huh.
So his whole ideological aspect of how he changed, if they would have had that since the beginning and gone more in depth with that, in
Mhm.
terms of showing all of that, more of his journey, so we could have gotten attached to that more,
Yeah.
that storyline, and then seeing him die in the end, a part of the political dance that they were doing on the other side, that would have made this fucking show crazy good, in my opinion.
Yeah, if they would have sort of like Game of Thrones did, where it just introduces the plot lines and have them kind of running at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, that could have been also the way that the show title could have been imbued. Just had, maybe not necessarily have dragons appear, right? But know that they existed and that there's a power level. And it's like a play on word of this guy took the name of this powerful dragon that was once a thing and took that and imbued it in him. And that's the dance that they're doing. They're dancing with this character in terms of political
Right.
or this terrorist, because he technically became a terrorist in
Yeah,
order
definitely.
to, but which is like what, and that's what makes a good villain. Like, is he wrong? Is he not wrong in what he's trying to do? Like, you have that ideological aspect of the fact that is he wrong in doing what he's about to do, or is
Right.
he justified?
Are his ends wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like in all reality, like he was betrayed by his own family and the corporations back then of creating weapons that he thought were going to be used strictly for peace.
Right.
And that then him seeing in person that those weapons were being used to put down and oppress and murder people.
Yeah.
And that could have been just started off that, and then the train just kept on fucking trucking. You could have seen him devolve into this maniac, justice-induced character who just wants revenge on that and justice for not necessarily his people, but people that he wronged.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, dude, I'm getting hyped up thinking about it. That could have been so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah. The show would have really benefited off of either that or being more than 12 episodes. I think if either of those things, if it just had like more time to do anything.
11. Let's be honest. It was 11.
Yeah, 11.
That 12th
episodes.
episode
that
was
last
so
episode
unneeded.
is basically nothing.
It was kind of cool to see that one chick, though, that he kept thinking about.
That they kept bringing up, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
She was a dummy mommy.
Man,
She
she
was
was
a
also
boundary
in the show too. Towards the end, that ended up saving them.
Yeah. He's like, "What's that smell?"
Well, not that when the third attack got released, and he was like, he played the Magatsushi, the Sand Dragon guy, and then it was hovering over them as they were about to fall, and then that lightning shot came and disrupted it. That was
Yeah.
What about a bespectacled beauty that can use Jishki? How annoying would that be?
Don't ever say that word around me, please.
Juicy
Stop.
key. It's not that word. It's different.
Chukusi.
Bro, she had a mad jacuzzi, you know what I'm saying?
She
Is
had
she
that
real wet? Is that a
Chukusi.
Jushki? Is that a Gushki? She
Ew.
Gushkiing?
Oh my god, she's gooskiing.
No.
She's a goosher.
No.
Cole, you don't like
An
fruit
offensive
gooshers?
goosher.
That's the key to being Jushki.
Yeah.
I don't want to
You
be
gotta
here
be
anymore.
Gushki.
We've never. Also, all we saw was offensive gooskers. You know what I'm saying? We never saw someone like, oh, where's the defensive gooskers? You know,
Yeah.
we never saw those. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because they were all offensive, and that led to everybody being surprised. Like, whoa, that person also knows healing Jushki. That person knows barrier Jushki.
That guy's also an offensive Jushki. Like,
That
most
guy's
of the guys
a
you're fighting
goosh.
are. Most of the guys you're fighting are offensive. That's
Like, is there
typically
a
how it
sex
works, right?
goosker?
Yeah,
I hope not.
that's also offensive.
What?
Offensive gooshkers.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Oh, he's pissing.
I'm offended, Gushker.
Oh, he's pooping. He's wiping his dick. He's blowing
That's
his
a
dick.
lot of fucking toilet paper. to buy.
Yeah, I went on a huge tangent, but I feel like that show could have
No, it's
benefited
good.
from that. I got super hyped thinking about that. Could have been so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
To
the
me-
show had potential.
The
but
entire plot concept of the weapons they use. The first episode where we see the giant dragon come in, I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be cool.
Yeah.
And then the second episode happened, and I'm like, wow, this is not cool.
Fun fact: I tried watching the show a while ago.
Really?
Fun fact: I only got to the third episode. Fun fact: that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It was a while ago.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely. If a season 2 does come out,
It's not.
I don't think it will.
if it ever does, I don't know if I'll ever watch it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the show existed.
Yes,
Like,
I
I had
know.
heard
me
about
neither.
it, but I didn't know anything about it.
Also,
I never heard about
Universal
it. I
made this.
Yeah, I
Just
think
That
my-
blew
I
my
think that's
mind.
kind of cool.
I'll blow your mind as long as you think with your dick.
Yeah, I never heard of
Won't
the
be the
show.
first
I
time.
just like scrolled past it on Crunchyroll, and I was like, oh hey, that looks neat. Oh hey, it's 12 episodes. I could assign that.
Fair enough.
I watched the last couple episodes at 1.5 speed because I wanted to get done with it.
Fair enough.
What did you like about the show?
I honestly didn't dislike this a bunch until I disliked it in the first 3 episodes because I was getting real pissed off about how much it said "jish gish." You know what I'm saying?
Whiskers.
That's the leader of the religion. Jish gigish.
Like that shit, and like that shit was pissing me off so much. But then after I continued watching the show, I was like, all right, they got some cool like plot lines developing with political intrigue stuff and all like how this guy's puppeting this everyone around him, controlling the world, trying to build a scene to where he can have the most profit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I was like, okay, this is cool. This is starting to get really cool. Of all the background political stuff we get to see, and how he's like, okay, we get to see it because he chose the main character to be his viewer, which was awesome. And that started bringing up the show quite a bit for me in terms of enjoyment. I kind of started forgetting about the Juice Grenadier, you know what I'm saying? And then started focusing on more of the political aspect.
The
And
political.
that drove it pretty. That drove it
Yeah,
pretty
no
home
juice
for me.
only the political.
Don't
Exactly.
drop that juice. Don't.
But in terms of that made the show so much better for me. And then doing that now, also talking about how I would have liked more with the Storm Dragon just a minute ago.
Sand dragon.
Yeah, Storm Dragon Valdores.
Dragon fighting the juice.
Whoever the Valdez or whatever.
Valdora.
Valdora.
Valdora Tempest.
Yeah. Fucking. But
Eldora Valdez.
talking about how that could have been like that, I was like, oh fuck, dude, that could have been so fucking good. And that kind of made me sad that it wasn't like that. And now I kind of don't enjoy the show as much anymore. How they fucking botched it.
Oh, I ruined it for myself.
These fucking writers are dumb. Whoever made these shows, they could have done so good.
Yeah,
Damn, I wonder, is this a manga?
Probably.
maybe.
Or is this like if this
Like
was
anime only.
if this isn't a manga and this was just anime only and they fucked it up that bad,
They really botched
I'm gonna be so
it.
mad. Well, they didn't really botch it. It was still good.
I think my favorite part was the relationship with the red hair guy and the silver hair guy. Like this, that like the hate relationship they had, but also they like
Oh, they
were teammates. So
It
they-
is a manga.
Yeah,
It is okay. So,
maybe read the manga. Maybe it'll be better.
well, I want to see
Oh,
if
it's a light novel.
Oh,
I want to see if it's the same.
maybe
or
that's
if they-
why.
Because I know sometimes with adaptations, like with God of High School, they fucking rushed it so bad
Yeah.
that maybe they didn't rush it in the light novel and we get more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That-
could see that. This feels like
You said this was a
They
light
rushed
novel,
Kanish to this.
yeah.
so that probably would explain why they were like they kind of sped up the end with the death of the sand dragon just out of left field or something.
So
Oh,
maybe
maybe.
we might get more. I kind of want to read it in terms and see if what happens.
There's probably a lot that they took out. I'm sure.
We'll see. I might read it.
What about you, Higgins? Favorite part or favorite aspect of the show?
I mean, besides the naming convention, I actually really like the magic. It's cool. It's varied. Like the design wise, this whole show was really sweet. In terms of appearance, I love this show. I'll tell you now, for my scores, both animation and art style are 10s.
Wow.
It's the only thing kind of close to that on my board, but I feel like they're deserved. So, you know, when things when things pick up, I feel like it's good.
That's fair.
It's just the show kind of gets an opportunity to slow down, it's not that great. But I don't know.
Right. That's fair.
And the pacing is all over the place.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's
It's
But-
horrible.
yeah,
Now I want to see it.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
but visually, I liked the show a lot.
Gotcha. Frenchie?
I'm in full agreement. I gave I think I said it to someone that the animation and art style is really good and the plot has a lot of potential, but the execution is not great.
Right.
And I could not remember any of these motherfuckers' names.
No, I have no idea. That's why I've just been calling them by their hair color.
And I thought at one point the plot, like in the middle where it's a little weird, like right before it gets really good, I thought it was a little hard to follow of what the fuck's actually happening.
Yeah.
When it's like the 12 guards or whatever that get introduced that
Yeah.
work for the cardinal guy, that's when I kind of started getting kind of lost and not knowing exactly.
sauce?
Yeah, and not knowing exactly what's going on or who to root for.
I also wish the wife of the dragon that they killed was a bigger part for longer, because I really liked her revenge arc.
Yeah.
Like, I wish that would have been, like, maybe subbed on the side for a little bit and then come back into play near the end.
Hmm. I like the weird distorted voice that she had.
Overall, I thought the show was not terrible, but
Not the best.
underachieved for the potential it had, both in the plot and the technical side of things. I didn't really care about the open at all, and I did not like the ending.
I thought the music was. It could just be my preference. I enjoyed the music. Weirdly enough, like
I thought it was okay.
the music to me gave fairy tale vibes, and I was like, I've never really been against the intros and outros for fairy tale. I thought that they've always been entertaining enough.
Yeah, to me, it didn't fit the vibe of the show, though.
That's
where
fair.
it's a dark political thriller involving magic and dragons.
And then we got these girls and their
Not
Dubstep.
magic, quantum mechanics.
And Jishki.
I couldn't remember how to say Bill Skarsgård's name, and I always called Bill Skarsgård. Because I was talking about Watch My Mom. Holy fuck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and also like Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch.
I can't wait. I hope for. I hope that there's auto captions for the videos when we upload them. I haven't seen if the YouTube videos have like auto generated captions.
They
but
do. They do.
You have to select
Oh man.
When this gets uploaded, I'm 100% watching it because I want
Jack Wang sent me a Snapchat of them, and they're fucking wild.
Oh, good.
Like she was watching the YouTube video, and the captions were just popping up, and she's like, "This is fucking funny with some of the shit you guys say."
Oh, perfect.
So that's the kind of show we're gonna have.
What I was
a
saying is I was
comedy.
watching Mamma Mia, and I was trying to remember. I was like, "Oh, that's that one guy's dad, Bill Skarsgård." And they were like, "What?" I was like, "It's fucking Bill Schuckner." Like that's his last name's like that something. And I was like, "Skarsgård." Like, I was like, "Oh, Skarsgård."
Oh my God.
Bill Tucker, Skarsgård.
I feel like I'm Trump trying to type up Kafifi. It's just
Man, I can't wait to see the subtitles for this.
You want a snickerdoodle? Yeah, I would love a snickerdoodle.
Oh, what the fuck is happening?
Holy shit.
We're out of ideas for Pokemon. Just call it.
Any other things to talk about the show other than roasting the shit out of it?
Before we start our ratings, I have to do something.
What do you gotta do?
I will say in
Oh.
terms of numbers, this show got higher than what I thought I would give it.
Same,
In terms
but
of
also
my
my numbers are
calculations.
everywhere for the show.
Mine too. Mine too. But-
oh my God.
It's one of those things where a couple of really good scores really bring up the total,
That's
for
how I'm
real.
feeling too, a little bit.
Yeah.
which, I ended up giving Mashal way higher score than I thought I would
Did
too.
you do
So
Mashal?
Yeah, we will need to get your rating
That's
for
what I'm
that.
saying. I didn't know if you
Oh.
were there last week.
Yeah.
I was there last week.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying. That was the thing I have to do before.
Yep.
Is do my Mashal.
Actually stayed pretty solid, like pretty even across the board.
Would you
last
guys
week.
rate it?
I gave it a 74. Frenchie gave it a 71. Zerio gave it a 70.
Nice.
So like, it was fairly, even across the board.
Yeah.
Like, it's a solid show. It's a parody show. It's exactly what you expect.
Do you want me to do that real quick?
yeah, go ahead and give your Mashal review. real
For
quick.
Magic Muscles.
I was just gonna say, could you imagine a Jishkinu flavored cream puff? Took a bite, that cream's come out. It's very Jishkinu.
You mean a Jishkinu cream puff?
Sorry, what was that, sir?
A Jishkinu cream
Yes,
puff?
I would like a cream puff and a side of Jishkinu.
I would like a croissant. You're like, what? I want a croissant.
What do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a Jishkinu.
What?
Oh, sorry, an offensive Jishkinu.
My roommate, he's a security.
Don't even get me started on defensive Jishkinu.
I'm sorry, I think I'm hearing you wrong. Like, what are you saying?
I'm saying
Are
my
your
room-
ears broken? I said a Jishkinu.
How do you spell that? It's
Jish?
Those aren't even letters, man.
Okay.
All right, but Magic
dude.
Muscle.
You remember that fucking... I gotta tell you something. I'm really proud of you for your joke that you made. They don't have a clue.
What?
Oh, you have to remind me.
It was someone's Facebook post about.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
yes.
cool. Okay, cool,
Yes.
cool.
Someone said,
Yeah.
I'm going to catch all the KKK members and ask what a klux is. And I just commented and said, they don't have a clue.
That shit was so funny. I was just laying in bed chilling. I was like, oh, hey, dude, he posted something. This is fuck. I was like, ha, that's funny. And I clicked the comments. I was like, oh, Tyler said something. And I was like, oh, they don't have a clue.
That shit's good.
I thought you were talking about, like, on the podcast last week. I'm like, what the fuck
no,
are you
no,
talking
no,
about?
no.
Then I remembered. And I even spelled it KLU.
It was hilarious.
Fuck yeah. Anyways,
Anyways, Magic Muscles, personal enjoyment. I gave that a 10. That show was fucking funny as shit.
that show was great.
I loved it. I actually loved it more than I thought I would. I'm gonna bump that down to a 9.
I love that show so much.
Well,
I'm gonna bump it down.
because how it ended up on the 12 episodes.
Well, the season 2's out.
Yeah, but I didn't watch season
Yeah,
2 for this.
Yeah, you gotta
Oh,
do
I'm
it
trying-
based off of
They
what you watch.
ended it badly.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I will
I'm at
agree
1
with
point
that.
for that.
Okay.
Animation I gave an 8. Character development I gave an 8. Soundtrack I gave a 7. Also, I love a lot of the characters in this show quite a bit. I fucking love them. Soundtrack I gave a 7. World building I gave a 5. Plot I gave a 7. Voice acting performance I gave an 8. Art style I gave an 8. Uniqueness I gave a 6. And recommendability I gave an 8 for a total of 74.
All right. So that will put our new average at still 72.
Nice.
It raised it by 0.25.
Nice.
You put a 72 in instead of a 74 for his.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There we go. Motherfucker. There we go.
Motherfucker.
All right.
Damn
Scores for no dancing and no dragons. Sorry, no dancing with only a little dragons.
Do we want to start with Zario since he
Yeah.
assigned it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Personal enjoyment, I gave it a 6. There were,
Fair.
you know, there's times I thought it was pretty good.
A lot of
Times
juicy
I
ears.
thought it was not great. So, you know, it was decent.
Yeah.
Animation, I already spoiled what animation art style are. Those are both 10s. Visually, this show is incredible. I mean, I guess that's the least you're gonna get from it when Universal Studios decides to make an anime, I guess.
That's valid.
Character development, I gave a 6. I felt like some development does happen. It's pretty good. It's not there. You know?
In some way, shape, or form, it exists.
Yeah, we're getting development. I wouldn't say it was like spectacular.
Right.
Above a 5.
Yeah.
Soundtrack, I gave a 6. I wasn't impressed with it. I didn't really vibe too hard over the opening or the close. The music during the show is, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
World building, I gave an 8. The nice thing about political intrigue type shows is that they do kind of tell you about the world.
Yeah.
So, it did tell us about the different countries that we need to kind of keep an eye on.
And different.
Yeah, different. We didn't see a lot of different because most of it's offensive. But
That's going to be one of our new inside jokes now.
Yeah. Yeah, Kaisen.
Just get your Kaisen.
Plot, I gave a 5. I feel like on paper the plot was really good, but how it played out was not.
Yeah.
And the pacing is just so all over the place that I can't really justify giving it higher than that.
That's valid.
Voice acting, I gave a 6. I felt like a lot of the voices really fit the characters, but there wasn't anything like necessarily overly impressive about the performances themselves.
Right.
Yeah, art style, like I said, is a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Uniqueness, I didn't really know where to put it, so I gave it a 7 because, like, it's magic, but it's not really magic. It's, like, not fantasy,
It's just
but
GNU.
sort of. It's, like, kind of modern day. It feels a lot like a Final Fantasy type thing. So
It's like Final Fantasy meets Full Metal.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Recommendability, I gave a 4. Probably not going to tell people to watch this show.
If you
It's
want to hear
not-
Jishkin so much,
like-
just listen to us. Don't listen to the show.
It's not impossible. It's not inconceivable that, like, if somebody asks me if they should watch the show, I might tell them to give it a shot.
Yeah.
If anything, just for
If someone
how it-
brings it up to you, you'll be like, sure, but you're not going to
Yeah.
actively tell somebody about it.
Yeah, like if they
Yeah.
found it the same way that I found it, just scrolling through Crunchyroll, and they're like, "Hey, Zario, should I check this out?" I might be like, "That animation is in your ballpark, if it is, so
Yeah.
you might like it for that."
Give it the world if you want to, and come back to us when you understand the joke of the Jishkiner.
Yeah, it's a total of 68.
Okay.
I might have just won this from Mayhem Comics.
Oh? Oh.
It's a Luffy standee.
Oh, nice. How tall is that?
I don't know how tall it is, but it's a bunch of free stuff they're giving out. And it says you can only call dibs on one, only call dibs if you can get here. You must comment on the original post itself on the main Mayhem Facebook page, not a shared one, not on the individual photos. But
Oh,
I
you-
dibsed on Luffy. I was the first one to comment on it. I got to the post 2 minutes before after it posted.
So you're gonna go there right now?
You have a week to pick it up, and it has to be.
Can I see the other stuff that they have?
But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
Nice.
Nice. So yeah, those are my ratings.
All right. Wiki?
Wiki.
Dance with Dragons, personal enjoyment 6.
That
Oh
says
my gosh.
that says Dane with dragons.
Oh.
Dane, what are you doing here?
Wait, hold on.
I'm with dragons.
Oh.
Finally, we got some dragons.
They're
Dan-
teaching me the Jishkiner.
Mine for Dan with Dragons, personal enjoyment is a 6.
Dane with dragons.
Animation, I'm gonna change it. Dan with Drag.
Dane with
But personal enjoyment 6, animation 7, character development 6, soundtrack 7, world building 8, plot 6, voice acting performance 6, art style 7, uniqueness 7, and recommendability 5 for a total of 65.
So far there is a theme here. Let's see how closely it can stay kept.
My score's a lot lower.
Yeah.
Personal enjoyment, I gave a 3 because I did not enjoy this show for 90% of it outside of like 2 episodes. Animation, I gave a 9 because I thought the animation was really fucking cool, and I wish there'd been more fights with dragons because those dragon fights were really cool. Character development, I gave a 4 because I didn't really think there was a whole lot. World building, I gave a 7 because I do think they do a really good job of introducing us to all the different warring factions. Soundtrack, I gave a 4. Like I said, I did not fuck with the music for the show. Inside the show was fine, but open and close were not satisfactory for me. Plot, I gave a 7 because I do think the plot has a lot of potential, and there were some really cool things with it. VA performance, I gave a 5 just because I thought it was pretty middle of the road. Art style, I gave an 8. The problems with this show is not the technical aspect of how the show looks. Uniqueness, I gave a 4 because it's another dark political show, which there's a lot of those. And then recommendability, I gave a 3 because I don't think this is going to be one I recommend to a lot of people when there's a lot of other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Total, I gave it a 54.
It's above average. It's above average. It's above average.
Yeah. All right. Personal enjoyment for me, I gave a
Definitively mid.
Yeah. Personal enjoyment, I gave a 5. There was moments I liked in it, but most of the time, not a fan. Animation, I gave a 9. I did like the animation. I thought that was pretty banger. Character development, I gave a 6. There was some that was there, but not enough to really like fuel enough for it, if that makes sense. Like there was some character development, but not enough for there to really have a change for the character. Soundtrack and world building, I gave both 7s. I like the soundtrack, and again, I think that's just because of my own personal bias on it. And then the world building, I gave a 7 because like it's there. I gave it maybe a lower score because I didn't understand it some of the times. Plot, I gave a 5. There's something there, but it was poorly executed, and I don't think I can give it. I don't think I can do it justice by giving it a higher because of that. VA performance, I gave a 7. I actually enjoyed the VA performance. I thought for the most part the character voices fit. Art style, I also give a 9. Uniqueness and recommendation, I gave both 5s. Show's not very unique, and I wouldn't really recommend this to people unless they ask me about it. I'd be like, give it a try. Get back to me in like a couple days, see how you like it. So total for me is a 65. So that brings our average to a 63.
That's better than I thought it would be, honestly.
Yeah. It wasn't horrible, but definitely not one of our best.
Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in our review of a show that has political dancing but no actual dancing and barely any dragons. The anime assignment is Boy and the Beast, which does in fact have both a boy and a beast if you look at the title card for it.
Boy and the Beast.
A
Ba,
tale
ba,
as old
ba.
as time. And thanks so
Gaston.
much for enjoying our discussion. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Weekly Weebs podcast.
We'll be back next week with more exciting anime talk.
Make sure to join us every show to stay up to date with what's going on in the world of anime. We'll catch you next time.